Here goes, we're going live. Hi everyone, it's Yvette Le Blowitz here, author of It Starts With Me. So first of all, what does that mean? It means that everything you want to do starts with you. So if you want to walk a mountain, it all starts with you doing it. Anything you want to happen requires you to do it. I always say, dream it, believe it, do it. So there you have it. So, and I write a lot more about that in this book. So first of all, I've been doing call outs on my Instagram stories here at Yvette Le Blowitz on my author's page. Also at spaitgirl, which is the blog podcast page. And also on spaitgirl_travel, which is my dedicated spa, travel, wellness page. Okay, so from there, thank you to everyone who has been responding to that. I've received lots of DMs, and this was my first question I want to answer today, and I'll try and keep it as short as I can. But the first question I had was, what does your morning look like? So for me, the first thing I do when I wake up is, instead of grabbing my mobile phone, which I never do now, I've learned that the first thing I need to do is connect to my own self before everyone else. So when I'm in bed, I will simply wake up really gently, stretching out my body, just connecting to my body. Then I'll connect to my breath and just really feel into it and connect to the breath. And I'll do a few inhales in bed and exhales. So from there, I will get up from the get-go and I will get dressed. I'll have those clothes ready. It will be workout gear to either go for a walk or to hit the yoga mat and to do some yoga. So before I leave that room, I'm self-disciplined by making sure I make the bed. That to me is so important for setting up a morning of winning, because I know if I can discipline myself in the smallest practice like that, it's a great way to build discipline over time, self-discipline. So I always make the bed, and I love to come back in the evening and see my room clean and the bed made is amazing. So after that, I will walk straight out. I will grab some water to have that. I will also pop the kettle on to either have a coffee or a cup of tea. During that time when I'm waiting for like the kettle to boil, I've kind of like opened up the curtains and I'm taking in like the natural sunrise, and I'm always practicing gratitude for that, gratitude to be able to wake up, gratitude that I can move. So I'm practicing gratitude in that moment, even though I'm not specifically writing it down in the journal just then, I'm still practicing gratitude. And from there, I'll kind of like shake the body around and move it around, get things flowing, kind of like do some up and down, like touching my toes and back, and just really shaking it out, moving it out, more stretching whilst I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. When that kettle's boiled, I practice mindfulness from that moment. So if I'm making a cup of tea, I'm really concentrating on looking at what I'm doing. So becoming aware of the hot water going in, the cup, the steam coming out, what's happening in front of me, and that helps me to become very present. I also, if I'm having a coffee, I will put in a teaspoon of MCT oil, which is really good for brain health. And my brother got me onto that, my eldest brother, and I kid you not, that coconut oil, and particular MCT that I use, the brand's Melrose. I'm not getting sponsored for that, but that's the brand he gave me. But I am finding having that in my cuppa in the morning is making a massive difference to my energy and brain health and things like that. So after that, I will either, if I'm going for a walk or doing the yoga, I always have this thing about sitting on the ground. I kid you not. I have my yoga mat on the ground. I sit cross-legged on that ground, on that yoga mat, to have my cup of tea or have my coffee, to have my water. I will journal, practice gratitude. I will also, some days, depending on my time, I will read like a couple of pages from a book, just to keep some reading in there, like even if it's 2 or 3 or 4 pages, just to keep that education up, self-development up. So, but I'll do a lot of journaling, just how I'm feeling, maybe what dreams I had, just kind of like basically what I want to call in for the day, and just processing everything, emotions, feelings, purpose, intention, and then practicing the gratitude. So you can write 3 things down in the morning you're grateful for. You might want to even just journal how you're feeling in the morning, how you're waking up, where's your mood at. Just really becoming self-aware of how you're feeling within your own body, mind, spirit, energy levels, all things like that. So from that point, after then, I will either do some yoga and finish it off with a meditation. If I'm going for a walk, I will generally can do 2 things. I can either do the meditation then and do the walk. And sometimes why I really like to do the meditation first is if I do the walk and then don't come back and miss the meditation, I've missed the meditation. But meditation's really important for me. And if you haven't tried it before, I inspire you to. Even if it's just turning your mobile phone on, your timer for 1 minute, and closing your eyes. We could do this now actually. Basically, you just be closing your eyes. You could be sitting in a chair, laying on the floor, but you literally are just gonna be closing your eyes, softening your eyelids. Just remember, all you're doing is just observing your own breath. And if you had your mobile phone timer even for 1 minute on there, or you decided to do like a YouTube meditation, or you wanted to do the Calm app, it really wouldn't matter. Sometimes I don't even need to have a timer on. I'll just simply close my eyes. I might not even be doing a guided meditation, but you can simply just close your eyes and inhale through the nose and exhale out through the nose, or you could inhale right from the bottom of your belly and then right up, lungs up, out. There's no right or wrong. Basically, you're just tuning into your own breath, observing the breath. You are like really just becoming present, breathing in and out, whether that's through the mouth or the nose. You are just spending some time connecting to your own breath and your own self. And there's so many ways you can meditate. Like I said, YouTube, a timer, an app, if you're just starting out, or if you're just starting out, the biggest tips I would give you is, still to this day, and it happens to me, you are gonna have thoughts that come up. You'll get used to just observing the thoughts and how you're feeling there. and you'll just observe them. You'll let them rise, you'll let them fall. But it's a really great opportunity to check in with yourself in the morning, to work on your own mental health, how you're feeling. It really will help during COVID-19 or during any stressful times. But the thing I have learned is its consistency over time. So the first time you meditate, you might feel amazing, but the key really is consistency. So turning up every day. And that's why I like to keep it really flexible, like whether it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't really matter about the minutes. All that matters is you're just showing up regularly on your mat, turning up, just making time to sit in a cross-legged position. Just let everything relax. You're just inhaling through the nose and exhaling. And you can do this throughout the day if you have to, or in the evening. But I just like to do it in the morning, and then it's done. And then when I get to go to work and the world is at me and things happen throughout the day, if I'm really tired after a full-on day in the afternoon, all of my self-care rituals have been done in the morning in terms of like exercise, whether that's a walk or the yoga or the meditation. And it also sets me up for a really amazing day. I have a lot of energy. I feel very vibrant, very positive. And that's why I love the morning rituals. So I think I've now covered that. After I work out, I tend to have a really healthy breakfast. It will be something like fresh raspberries or blueberries, which are amazing for your skin. Blueberries, particularly for your brain health. But I'll have some like probiotic yogurt with some muesli with a lot of chia seeds, honey, almonds, like kind of like nuts, and fruit. So that's kind of like my morning. I have been doing that for some time. I found that when I was traveling, actually, it became more and more challenging. And the only reason is when I'm away, say doing something in the Maldives, when I go to a resort, I'll have to be getting up at like 3:30 in the morning or 4 a.m. to get that sunrise, because it's a really good time on sunrise to shoot. Whereas when I'm at home, one of the amazing things to come out of COVID-19 is it's been given me time at home where I can get into a really set routine. So when I do travel eventually again, I will just have to reschedule. Instead of doing it first in the morning, I will have to do it like mid-morning or after lunch, or I'm just thinking it will never be on sunset. Sort of sunrise and sunset is when I really do shooting a lot. So, but definitely I have to really work on that. But I'm really committed to it because it doesn't take much just to go off the rails. And it only takes, like, before you know it, a week or two of missing out on your self-care rituals where you can be feel even more lethargic. When you're more tired, you might want to eat other food that isn't the best for you. But if you keep to this very set routine and don't overwhelm yourself with it, but 100% set yourself up for an amazing morning. And you probably noticed, not once did I say, in all of that morning, I don't check my feed, my social media feed. The reason being, I have learnt the hard way. If I literally sit on my phone and scroll, because back in the old days, especially when Instagram just started, like 2012, back then, it was quite new and exciting. Wasn't quite popping, but it was different. But even with Facebook feeds, you can get really sucked into scrolling, and then before you know it, it's like, oh my God, the morning's gone, I've got to get ready to work. So you can spend like half an hour, an hour looking and get caught up in that. and then completely miss the morning. So you've missed your morning walk. I know this because this was once me. You've missed your yoga, you've missed meditation, maybe reading a self-care book, journaling, practicing gratitude, like relaxing, connecting with your own self. So I've made a ritual where I always sleep with my phone, not beside my bed, never, because obviously I have had some experience in not learning a lot also about brain tumors, and one of the top specialists in Sydney is very adamant that it's not good for us to sleep with the mobile phone beside our head. But a lot of people still do. They have it right beside their bed, but still there is so much going on in the world. For me, I want 100% switch off in the evening. So I'll always have my phone either in my ensuite, on silent, just with my alarm ready to get go, or I will have it in the kitchen, but basically not beside my head. And I feel that when I do that, it's a really great way to completely go, okay, that's it. Because you can get so sucked in, and I know this, staying up so late, trying to respond to DMs, comments, looking at people. It's just like, whoop, it just sucks you in. And I have learned it's something I've really struggled with. I need to challenge myself all the time, which is going to bed early and getting enough sleep, because sleep is so important for our health. Now, I'm now 42, turning 43, and I know after spending a lot of time even with my mom and in aged care, over time, whether you're young or old, if we don't get a routine sleep pattern and get our mind, body into this, what can happen is we can get really bad routines, which is so hard as you get older to rectify. So sleep's really important, and I know that when I grew up, 8:30 was the time when we didn't ring another person's house because it was rude to, and if you hadn't spoken to someone by the time, you know, it was their time for dinner, it was way too late after 8:30 to ring. But I know so many young kids are on Instagram and Snapchat and all sorts of things, even on a school night till 12 in the morning or 1 a.m. or 10 a.m. And I know even myself and adults, it's so easy for us to be having conversations at 11:30 at night about something and making that the priority over our health and sleep and brain health, and mental health. So I would inspire you to join me in trying to really work on not only our morning rituals, but our evening rituals and sleep bedtime routine. But I will share more of that in another Q&A, but keep your questions coming in. I do have more in the It Starts With Me book about my morning rituals and how you can also cultivate your own morning self-care rituals that suit you, that are best for you, because even what I do could really work for me, but you have to find what you love, what works for you, and what you can do. So there you have it. But on that note, #SpiritGirl, share your self-care rituals, what you're up to. Tag Spirit Girl if you're reading this book, or Yvette Le Blowitz. Let me know. And there's loads of podcast shows out now on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, the Spirit Girl YouTube channel, and so many new blogs up on spaitgirl.com. So lots there to inspire you to become your own happiest and healthiest self. Love you all to bits. I'll see you on the next Q&A. Have a beautiful self-care Saturday. Namaste.